So I try to find a quiet recording space that is actually affordable for me to rent out for a couple of hours a week to film videos for you. So, I actually tried a different space, paid for it, everything, last week. But when I got there, so first, when I looked at the space, it was very quiet. It was so quiet. But then, when I went there to record, they were renovating, so there was so much noise. It was even worse than recording at home. So did not work. No. But anyway, hopefully this space is the solution, which will allow me to make better content for you guys, better audio quality, and also upload more frequently. So I hope you like it. But now let's talk about you. It is now 2024. Can you believe it? How time flies. Well, I want to talk to you today about New Year's goals. Actually, just goals in general. And how to actually achieve your goals. Obviously, the new year is a bright time for new ideas, for creativity, for hopes and dreams. But I think it's good to set goals anytime. I just think that having goals in your life makes the day-to-day things, the boring things, the mundane things more valuable, and it gives you a purpose in life. So you're not like a boat that's sailing without a compass. And of course, I do think that there are times in our life when there is a space since learned that it takes a lot more time than 2 or 3 weeks. It might actually even take 2 to 3 years to get into the shape or fitness level that I want to be. So, the reason I bring this up is because having realistic goals have made me stay consistent. And the way this works is if I put down a goal, like say I put down a goal saying I want to be able to run half a marathon, like say that is my goal, but now I go running for a week and I still feel like I can barely run 5 kilometers, never mind half a marathon. Okay, this is just an example. I don't actually run. But if instead I wrote down my goal, I want to run half a marathon, and then I outlined steps underneath it, right? So by this due date, I want to be able to run 5 kilometers. Then by this due date, I want to be able to run 10 kilometers. Then by this date, I want to be able to run 15 kilometers. Then that would be a lot more achievable and realistic. And I would get the gratification because I would get to that date and I would see, oh, okay, I can't run anywhere near to half a marathon yet, but I can run 5 kilometers. And that was my goal. And I have now achieved my goal. And then slowly but surely, it builds and it builds and it builds. And then when you look back at the end of 2024, your goal is so much closer than it was a year ago, with small little steps. And I do think that it is worthwhile to write these things down. I personally write down all of my goals, and I also speak it to you guys and to people in my life, because I feel like when I do that, it becomes an actual plan. It becomes an actual thing that I am working towards, that I am trying to achieve. Whereas if it's just in my head, if it's just in your head, it can just fade into the abyss. steps that I have outlined for myself? And if so, why is it? So for example, you might think, oh, I'm lazy, or I'm just not disciplined enough, I just don't have the self-motivation. But sometimes it's not that. Sometimes it's that you're too tired, and then you need to think, well, what can I do to make myself less tired so that I will have the energy to follow my plan, to achieve my goal? Does it mean I need to go to bed earlier? Does it mean I need to cancel some of my weekly plans? Does it mean that I need to eat more, to have more calories, to have more energy? Okay, just an example that I'm giving you. And then, if you have found where your obstacle lies, then you can try and overcome that. If you cannot overcome your obstacle, then you need to change your plan. Okay? And if there is no obstacle, and you followed your plan step by step by step by step, and you did not achieve your goal, then you need to reassess your plan. So it is called just constant and never-ending improvement. Okay, always working towards that thing, that one thing that you have in mind. It doesn't just have to be one thing. You can have more than one goal. But just trying to help you actually achieve your goals this year. So I'll use my personal example to try and explain this better. So my goal is to eventually one day be able to do YouTube full time, just because I really don't enjoy the corporate world. It sucks the life out of me. I don't enjoy making money for other people who are maybe not good people, and just being in this cycle, you know, like it's just not for me. It's not where my passion lies. It's not where my skills lie. Like I've worked hard to train myself to be good at it, but it doesn't feed my soul, you know. And I don't have the freedom and the joy that I want in my life. So anyway, so then my goal is now to hopefully one day be able to do YouTube full time. So then I had plans, right? Like, okay, I need to upload more consistently if I want my YouTube channel to grow. But I had like my schedule of when I would film and when I would post and all these things. So that was my plan. So end goal was do YouTube full time, but then my plan was upload consistently, which consisted of film on these days, edit on these days, upload on these days. But it didn't work, and I ended up being so inconsistent. So I had to reflect on my plan. Why wasn't I following my plan? And I realized that